What's going on, guys? Matthew back again, this time for another college football ranking video. Kind of a boring weekend. Other than that, Texas A&M LSU game, that was a good one to cap off the night. Other than that, not a lot of big surprises. I was really pulling for Vandy to beat Texas at Vandy. They almost did it. Lost by 3, scored that last second, or not last second, but last minute touchdown to cut it to 3, and then could not get the onside kick. But other than that, this is probably the most boring week of college football of certainly the last 4 or 5 weeks. But it's been a great year so far. Let's go ahead and jump into these rankings for week 10. Coming at number 12, I still have Army. They haven't beaten anyone significant, but they're still undefeated. So as long as they stay undefeated, I'm gonna have them at number 12. I know Boise State is basically everybody's number 12 right now, but as long as Army stays undefeated, and that means they have to play Notre Dame at some point this year. As long as Army stays undefeated, I have them at that number 12 spot. Coming at number 11, I still have Miami. They're technically undefeated. I still consider that they lost to Virginia Tech. I think that was a touchdown by Virginia Tech. I talk about it every week. But as long as Miami is in my top 12, I'm going to mention that. Moving to number 10, I have Iowa State. They have not beaten anyone significant, but they're still undefeated. So I have them at number 10. Coming at number 9, Clemson. They had the week off just like my Gamecocks, but they've beaten everyone. I think they've beaten the spread in every game except obviously Georgia, who they lost to, and they did not beat the spread against Virginia, who they most recently played. They allowed Virginia to score 21 in the last quarter, which maybe that was because they had their B team in. I'm not sure. I didn't watch that game, but every other game they've beaten the spread. So Clemson's real sneaky right now. I have Clemson at number 9. Coming in at number 8, Ohio State. No big wins, really. I know they just beat Nebraska by 4, I believe it was, and their only loss being to Oregon at Oregon by 1 point. I have Ohio State at 8. Coming in at number 7, I have Tennessee, their biggest win being over Alabama, I think 2 weeks ago. I think Tennessee had this past week off as well, and their only loss coming to Arkansas at Arkansas. Tennessee at number 7. Coming in at number 6, I have Texas. Their biggest win now is over Vandy. Their biggest win was Michigan, but Michigan, I think they have 4 losses now or 3. Michigan's not a big player right now. Vandy, who saw that coming? Vandy is Texas's biggest win so far this year, and Texas only lost coming to Georgia at home by 15. So Texas at number 6. And making their way into my poll at number 5 for the first time is Indiana. This one snuck up on me. I think they're kind of sneaking up on everybody. I believe in the AP poll, they're still outside the top 10, which it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Indiana is undefeated. They're in the same conference as Ohio State, but Ohio State's at number like 3 or 4 in the AP poll, and I believe Indiana is still at number 12. I don't know why Indiana is beneath Ohio State at this point, given the fact they play in the same conference and Indiana is undefeated. I know Ohio State played Oregon, but they lost to Oregon, so it's weird. I think some Ohio State bias going on there, but I have Indiana at number 5. Coming in at number 4, I have Texas A&M after their big win over LSU. Obviously, that's their biggest win, and their one loss is to Notre Dame at the beginning of the year. Texas A&M looks kind of like a powerhouse with that new quarterback they brought in. LSU really did not look prepared for that new quarterback they brought in, and they beat the brakes off LSU in that second half. I think like 32-6 was the score in that second half of that game. But Texas A&M coming in at number 4. Coming in at number 3, I have Georgia. Their biggest win being at Texas by 15, as I previously mentioned, and then their loss being to Bama by a touchdown in that game where they came all the way back to the lead, and then Ryan Williams happened. So Georgia at number 3. Coming at number 2, I have Penn State. Their biggest win so far is Illinois. And just like with Miami, I'm going to mention this every time I mention Penn State. Every time I mention Penn State in this poll, they should have had 2 pass interference calls against Southern Cal in that game in overtime. there were two back-to-back pass interference calls that the refs missed in that game with Penn State, but technically they're still undefeated. So I have Penn State at number 2. And coming in at number 1 is still Oregon, their biggest win being Ohio State at home by 1 point. And they did just beat Illinois, who I think was still ranked in the AP poll. And Illinois, I think, now has 2 losses. And I did previously have Illinois in my top 12 in the previous weeks. So I have Oregon at number 1. But that's my top 12 for this week, for week 10, guys. Let me know what I missed in the comments below. Let me know what you disagree with, what you agree with. Please hit that like button, subscribe, and we'll catch you guys next time. Take it easy, guys.